evening, everyone, and welcome to what is episode 22 of The Violet Madness. I am Mark, I am your DM this evening, and with me as always are these fine group of adventurers. And let me tell you, the last few sessions has been particularly rough on them, given all the physical, mental, and emotional damage sustained. And I think it's high time that we give our adventurers a little break. Yeah.
Probably not.
It'll be straight into the action this evening, but first and foremost, we will introduce our lovable players here. First up is Stephen.
I'm Stephen, and this evening I'm playing Sir Tyrion Shadowbane, the 6'2" Vengeance Paladin, recently retrusting of the company's bard.
Very good. Yes, crack altogether.
That's all you're saying.
Next up then is Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave, and I play Shadar Vicanis, Grave Domain Cleric of the Raven Queen. Shadar is a half-elf, and you'd play someone around 100 years of age if it weren't for the fact that he was magically aged by an undead creature in an old manor house a long time ago. Shadar is actually only in the 30s and exists solely to destroy undead for the glory of the Raven Queen. Shadar has bright white hair and is typically dressed for battle in black leathers with a black chain shirt and his trusty mace and wineskin. Very
good, thank you, Dave. Next up we have Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy, and surprisingly still playing Mina. I'm happy to be doing so. She is a tawny beige skinned half-elf with long curly brown hair. She's short in stature, but as we found out, she does have a little bit of power to her, successfully casting Gias last episode and getting a few good psychic glances off. And oh, look at that, she's not useless. Seems to have damaged her relationship with the party just a bit by offering to help them. Yeah, I'll let you figure out how that makes sense. And she's still with them, so we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Next up then we have Matt.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Matt, as ever, playing Alfric Elnaran, the half-elf evocation wizard, who in his sort of absent-minded ways is still blessedly ignorant of the inter-party tensions. And so, as far as he's concerned, we're all still the best of friends. Long may it continue.
Very good, thank you. Last but certainly not least, we have our friend Ryan.
Hi guys, I'm Ryan, aka Deranged Rhino, and tonight I am playing Daemon Phileas Venus. Hello, my darlings. I am, first of all, thankful that our paladin had named the Bard and not the Artificer to start with. As I just said, I'm an artificer, a battlesmith particularly, a tiefling standing at just over 6 foot. And yeah, had a bit of a strange one over the last couple of sessions, but is looking forward to, as Alfric said, being fine and good dandy friends.
So
yeah,
how tall are you with the wings?
Well, the wings would sit about 8.5 foot if I stretched them up.
So 6 foot under.
I'm gonna leave now. Thank you for the campaign, Mark. It was incredible while I was here. Damon's just gonna grab his wings and fly away.
There seems to be a common thread in the tension, and it's not me.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Paladin's got a paladin.
And of course, I'm accompanied by my ever faithful companion, Rocket, who is currently on guard watching Alfric pretty much all the time. As Alfric
He's
is
a
our
good
squishy
lad.
wizard.
Yeah. He's a good lad, Rocket.
He sure is. He's gotten you out of some sticky situations and more than one occasion. And also, of course, don't forget to give my boy Ryan a follow on Twitch, Deranged Rhino. He plays an awful lot more stuff than just your tiefling artificer. So yeah, do give him a shout. And also want to give Christian a shout out, our main man in the tech bunker, who's an absolute wizard at doing all of the technical stuff. So yeah, look, we're going to get straight into it. So I'll give you a quick recap of where we left off. So the gang have finished, they've concluded their business in Leyden, where Shadar had faced off against both his past and his siblings, who have succumbed to the evil will of one Lady Esmeralda, who is apparently held against her will in Blackbone Barrow, as we recently found out, sealed in by magic, but still operating, pulling the strings from inside the barrow and having her wretched hags do her bidding for her outside.
And you thought your family sucked.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, with the conclusion of their business in Leyden, the topic of Blackbone Barrow came up, where Mina just nonchalantly said that, "Oh, I can bring you guys there like right now. I know where the
I've got the teleportation circle."
Yeah, and that raised a couple of eyebrows, which led to some inter-party tensions. But look, I won't phrase or paraphrase anything. If you didn't catch last episode, I suggest you watch it. But yeah, tensions are a little bit high. But
I mean, Mina and Tyrion let off some steam in the bedroom and came to an agreement.
And
sounds great.
For what it's worth, I love the combination name Tina.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well. I was like, this is excellent.
It wasn't even on purpose.
There you go. That's a thing now.
Oh,
and
Tina Turncoat.
With the guys returning to Mirren, on the way home, both Alfric and Mina heard the very distant cry of what appeared to be a dragon from previous experience. But, it was far away, so it's probably not going to affect anything at all, ever.
It wasn't a dragon, it was the main quest line called
But
You forgot about me!
Hey, as you've been doing stuff, the old relentless wheel of time has been turning, so, who knows what that means, but, I mean, come on, we'll find out eventually, I'm sure. But anyway, when the gang returned to Mirren, not Tyrion, Daemon and Mina were having a conversation at the port side of town on the way back to the inn, and noticed that a few guards were heading towards Kingdom Cross in quite a hurry. But they didn't really get much information other than what the Duke had relayed to him, that there have been some attacks on the road to Kingdom's Cross, particularly on this path. There are 4 intersecting paths, one from Pethlin, one from Barinthus, one from Heathcote, one from Mirren. The attacks seem to be more orchestrated on the Mirren path, so they have sent reinforcements up to Kingdom's Cross accordingly. And that is where we are going to start off. So we did say, I'm going to bring you up to Mirren just first and foremost. I know we have just left, but if there's anything we would like to say or do before we venture on our quest, now would be a great time to do so.
Out of character, are we? We are going back for the Groth Bloom, or has everything changed? Because I know some people are talking about hitting the crossroads now and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out where we are.
Well, I think the plan
Get round to it
originally
eventually.
was to
get the Duke.
the
and then
Duke
come
to
back for it.
Pethlin, then go back.
Yeah, we wanted to see it. We can't be lugging him around all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Especially
I know the
towards
guy's
the-
important, but he's basically dead weight.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And off the table, realistically, Pethlin is a big enough city to have a teleportation circle.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
Once we've been there, we can
We
probably
go anywhere we want.
and come
Okay.
back.
Excellent. I like it. Let's do that then.
Okay. So we are.
And still off the table at some point, Mina does not have the teleportation circle correlated. It hasn't been given to her. She doesn't know
Not
it
yet.
at all. So
Yep.
as far as she's concerned, we gotta lug all the way back there because she doesn't know it exists.
So would I be right in saying that the consensus is to go towards Kingdom Cross at this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
play the
Yeah, I
two.
think so. Leave that
Okay.
main storyline behind. for
All right.
just
So we're
another
not. So
couple
we're
episodes.
not. Sorry, I thought we were bringing the Duke back. Let me just look at the map.
So
It's on
Pethlin-
the-
This is on the
Kingdom's
way
Cross
to
is the
Pethlin.
junction. to
Kingdom's
Pethlin.
Cross is
Kind of the major crossroads.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm
One of the
I'm-
routes
Yeah,
in
I'm
which-
looking
yeah.
at the Uthram Bog. That's what I was thinking of. My bad.
yeah. So Kingdom's
Sure.
Cross is the last stop before Pethlin. Yeah.
All right.
I have to
Way.
do this anyway as well because technically the Duke is my employer.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
You're duty
Also-
bound.
Seconded.
Very well. Would I please ask someone to roll a d6? Anyone at all?
Does it matter if it's high or low? Because it depends on which one of us rolls it.
I'm doing it. I'm giving it a crack.
Do
Yeah,
it.
go for it.
Go
mate.
for it.
A 3.
That's all right.
Solidly in the
Kind of
middle.
average.
How diplomatic was a 3?
That was to determine the weather situation
Okay.
on this fine day. And it is a fine day. It's actually quite warm. Tyrion, you're probably feeling the pinch a little bit more so than the others as the beating heat of the sun comes down and glimmers off your armor. And everyone else, is probably able to kind of shed a layer or two as you travel, but probably not Tyrion. It takes a couple of days, it takes you the full day of traveling, but you still won't reach Kingdom's Cross. It's a couple of days worth of travel. But the first day, it's a busy road, but there are not a lot of people. So anyone who has traveled this road, particularly maybe Mina, Shadar, and Damon, probably you three would have traveled this road before, and it's not as busy as it would normally be. Now, there are still people like traveling merchants and some other adventurers, some hunters, bards, the likes. They're all kind of coming to and fro. Some coming with your direction, some coming against you, and they're all traveling at different paces. Some are going much faster, some are on horseback, some are on carts, some are going much slower. But it's not as busy. The frequency that you meet someone coming against you is is noticeably less than what it was before. Shadar, with your passive perception, you would notice that anyone coming against you seems to be doing so kind of, they don't kind of lock eyes with you or anything. They just kind of, graze past and keep going about their business. Not that anyone would, I suppose, try and engage you. That wouldn't be fairly typical. But everyone seems to be going about their business and they're kind of keeping to themselves and moving is it
remarkably so, or?
Well, no. So some are going slow, some are going fast, some are going fast. They're all different paces, but what's noticeable to you is that there's no kind of bards stopping you saying, "Oh, a coin for a song," kind of thing, and no traveling merchants kind of stopping to say, "Oh, travelers, you look like you've been through the mill. How about some fine weaponry?" Nothing like that.
The people that do pass us, do they look like they've been through the mill, or that's that they've been affected by something?
No. Okay. They just look like they're in a bit of a hurry.
Grand. Well, I mean, Shadar's probably really happy that there's no one wanted interactions with people that are just too happy. So he's actually pretty chuffed about that.
Okay. I will then invite another person to roll me a d6 for me, please.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, take
This
it
is
away.
The number of dragons.
Ha!
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and also to add to that,
So that's what, the dragons?
a d12, please.
Oh God, here we go.
It's the amount
It's
of
okay.
extra
We
months it
believe in
takes
you.
us.
7. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay. So for this evening, it is quite uneventful. You make it to evening time, and you're able to set up camp, or if you'd like to continue through the night, that is completely up to you. But it will involve kind of roadside or further in camping, and this wouldn't be unusual for people traveling along this road because it is a couple of days worth of travel. People set up camp, and and because it's such a well-traveled road, it's particularly safe to just kind of join a camping kind of, what's the word? A camping group, basically. But given the recent troubles that you've heard of, some people are more inclined to just, kind of keep to themselves. Yeah. But and you can choose to do so yourselves if you so wish, or if you want to keep going, you can do that too.
I think it's more a case of what does the Duke want to do?
Yeah,
He would be inclined to take a rest.
Oh yes.
well, he doesn't want to force his way on through the night.
yeah, his men aren't exactly the best in these situations.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I guess we're setting up camp then.
Yeah, I mean, if
Okay.
it seems
Looks like it.
peaceful, you can just camp here.
Can we look for a suitable place, or
Absolutely, yeah. Do you want to keep kind of further in off the road, or do you want to look for somewhere that looks kind of spacious and kind of not too far into the wilderness? that kind of thing? Are you looking to just keep off road or on road, basically?
I think off road.
I think
We'd want to make sure.
How many
Yeah.
is our party with the addition of the Duke?
So you guys and the Duke, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his men.
There's no
Oh, so we could
so there's
both
a dozen
do
or so of
the.
us.
We could do the Lehman's huts and just stay safe that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Just
the
put them in
same
there.
thing. Yeah, if the Duke or his men would require a little extra security,
Okay.
I think we.
I think it would be wise to keep an eye on the road.
Yes.
See who's
Yeah.
coming and going.
Yes.
Off the road, but within eye shot of the road, but also not covered by trees because we want to have kind of clear line of sight for at least 10, 15 foot around us.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe if there's a
Okay.
clearing or something.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, you there's more than enough kind of places as you pass as night is falling, and you're able to set up camp. And let me just see here real quick. So yeah, you set up camp, and the Duke and his guard are kind of setting up a kind of cooking pot, and they've brought some provisions with them that they've procured a Mirren, and they're kind of cooking up a meal for everyone. And they don't really make too much of a point of idle chit chat. They kind of eat, and whoever is doing guard, you're okay. Whoever is doing guard watch, there is always going to be at least 2 of the Duke's men stationed with you. Is there anything you wanted to do, Shadar? Judging by
I was just reading through it, but I threw the description in. But he will try and do that at some point.
okay, cool. During this evening.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Is
Before
there?
we take a long rest.
Gotcha. Anyone else wanted to do something before taking the long rest?
I don't want to. At some point, Shadar will get a message. Like I'll cast a spell message so that only he can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Do that in the chat, and it'll just say something like,
How to spell.
Okay.
How many times?
it'll just say something like, "Hey, can you take a walk with me? It's important."
Okay, he will not reply to that message.
Okay.
He doesn't have to.
Very good. Anyone else doing anything just before we fast forward a little bit?
Nothing for me, I don't think.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Well,
Okay.
Mina plays and things seem pretty normal, so.
Gotcha. Let's.
Can I just see if I can find some, I don't know, local fauna or wildlife that we can cook up and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Make a survival check. DC 12. Oh dear.
Ah,
At least you got it out of the way.
not
Do you
today.
think that? But that's just my first of the evening.
Yeah, do you know, actually, it seems unusually quiet. Where you would normally see maybe the odd deer, more than a few rabbits, surely. But it seems like wildlife isn't as plentiful as it once was along this road. Which gives you a bit of a sickly feeling in your stomach because it reminds you of the Fenwell dukedom.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yep.
So unfortunately, you're stuck with the basic cookings of the town guard, which is just your run-of-the-mill stew.
I
which
can
is-
cast create food and water if we're stuck.
Well, no, they have food.
Okay.
It's just bland, so it'd be the exact same as create food and water, really.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no real flavor. It's nutritious, but no real nice flavor to it.
I was going to try and create some pocket bacon for Satyrion. But...
He's stocked up.
So before we go with the watches for the evening, we can go to that scrying spell, Shadar, if you'd like.
Yeah, I was going to just. My first thought during the week without reading the description of the spell was to try and scry on Victor Vicanus.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he knows who he is, but it says that they have to be on the same plane of existence, and I presume he's not. So I think what Shadar is going to do is, now that he knows that there is a teleportation circle in Blackbone Barrow, he's going to scry on Esmeralda with the view to see if he can see it anywhere around her. And if he can see it around her, he just wants to try and memorize it.
Okay.
Because he would like to see if they match up with, if the one he sees matches up with the one that Mina would describe.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't trust me?
No.
So last time Esmeralda willingly failed the save. She's not going to do that this time, so she will roll the save. So I'm going to roll the d20. She does have quite a considerable
Come on, Ryan.
wisdom check, so
Throw some of that mojo at this roll.
No.
no, a 9. Yeah, you're successful. I think the DC was like 21, isn't it? Or something like that.
The first time you've met the target.
Yep.
That's
so
22 is 17. So 5 plus my spell save DC. Is
Yeah,
that
22.
Right? Yeah, 22. Yeah.
yeah, so she only has a +6 to wisdom, so
Okay.
I did it for you.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So yeah, he's just gonna, so he'll scry on her just to see if there's anything he can learn, and he will also. Now, does she know, or is that up to you?
that is up to creature can see invisible objects, sees the sensor like a luminous orb.
Okay, cool. So we don't know. Cool. So he's gonna scry on her just to see if he can, A, to piss her off, and just to keep niggling at her. B, to see if she lets something slip, and C, to see if he can see that teleportation circle.
Okay, yeah, and again, you see the same large cavern, and again, it's kind of it's enclosed, but it's a large cavernous room. You can barely, actually, not even at all, see the roof of the cave, but you can see the stalactites kind of hanging down. I'm pretty sure I got that right, stalactites, and so you're kind of hovering kind of over her shoulder, and she's again like forever hunched down over this cauldron that's just billowing up this kind of reddish smog that's just draping down over the sides of the cauldron and petering out onto the ground. And she's just, last time she was like grabbing at different ingredients and stuff and just throwing it in, but at this moment in time, she's just kind of rubbing her hands together and peering inside. As you look around and she's not saying anything. As you're looking around the cave, you don't see any discernible runes or markings that would depict a teleportation circle.
Okay.
But you do see 3 distinct tunnelways in the cave, like doing a 360 view of where she is, which leads you to believe that there are either like 3 entrances or exits to the chamber that she's in. But again, nothing else other than like wooden shelves filled with all sorts of weird, what you might consider ingredients. Some are like herbaceous, some are body parts, some are jars of different kind of salts and powders and all sorts of other paraphernalia. And then just a plain shoddy wooden table with a knife that's stained in blood and just spatters of blood all over the wooden table, but nothing on it.
She's not talking to anyone while I'm scrying her.
No, she's
How long can I scry for?
I think
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah, she spends. If you're spending the whole 10 minutes doing that, she's going to spend a lot of time hunched over that cauldron, kind of just doing this, like she's looking at something, but you can't. Like to you, it's only this red liquid, but she it's like she's watching something. And
She's happy about what she's seeing, or
she has a very stern look on her face. So I'm going to roll a d20 to see if she says anything, and I'm going to say between a 17 and 20, she does say something.
Okay.
Ooh,
Thanks, dice.
interesting.
Hey.
The dice gods have said.
So I'm just going to What would she say in this situation with what she's looking at?
Mina, kill them in their sleep.
Soft kitty.
Do you know what?
Kidding.
Do you know what she would say? Actually, peering into this cauldron, she'd say something along the lines of, "Yes, I see. This one might be more trouble than they're worth. I think I must gather the last of my servants and have them scout out the area. Perhaps they can weed them out. This would very much hinder my plans." And yeah, that's kind of along those lines is what she says.
Yeah.
You have no idea who she's talking about.
Yeah.
She can obviously see something in this liquid, but you can't.
Okay. Cool. He will when the spell ends, he'll think to himself, and that's all he's gonna do.
Okay, so we're not following up with Mina then, I take it.
No.
Nah.
That's cool. That's cool.
He just needs.
Hmm.
He needs another night or two just to sort of.
Which I think Mina
Perfectly
knew, which
acceptable.
is also why she sent him a message and didn't just like, hello.
Yeah, so all Mina gets back is
Excellent.
scene 2101.
Counterspell.
So who would like to take watch number 1? There's going to be 2 watches tonight. Or you can leave it.
First
You,
one.
you can leave it to the Duke's guards if you'd like.
I'm not leaving
No.
anything to them.
Yeah.
I'm happy to take. Shadar likes getting up early anyway, so he'll take the last watch. So he'll just be up then.
Cool. So who would like to take watch the first?
Tyrion.
Okay, and you will be accompanied by 2 of the Duke's guards,
Gary and Barry.
Gary and Barry,
Also,
and then shift number 2 will be Peta and Dita.
Rocket doesn't sleep, so he would be assisting with whichever one of our group is up that time.
Absolutely no problem at all. Very well, Tyrion. Could I get a D20, sir?
D20.
Do you need one from me too, or?
Oh, you're doing 1 too? Yeah, please. Actually, no. Sorry, just 1 is fine. Yeah, uneventful. The night goes by. Your shift goes by without any problems whatsoever. The night is quite warm. It's not a chilly night by any means. It's quite nice actually. But you see the odd traveler who have decided to keep walking. Now these wouldn't be just your regular commoners. You see fellow adventurers, well equipped. Look like they're able to handle themselves, kind of walking past. But other than that, nothing of note really.
All right, and they don't look distressed or no signs of fungus.
No cause for concern, I don't think.
All right, okay.
Anything else you'd like to do before we go on to shift the second?
Just when he finishes his watch, he'll rise Shadar, and before he goes to sleep, he'll just clean off the chest piece that they received in Merton.
Okay.
I think the only thing Mina, I mean, obviously aside from like casual chit chat that you have when you're on a watch, the only real important thing Mina would say to Tyrion is just, I haven't figured out her exact words. I could text it to you later. But basically, hey, don't mention my last name in front of the guards or the Duke. Just something like that.
One.
Okay.
Noted.
Very well. As
No, it's not important.
As the rest of the watch goes by, it's fairly uneventful, and Tyrion, you do indeed wake up Shadar, who will be on watch with the 2 other of the Duke's guards, and Shadar will take a D20 from you, sir.
Okay, Shadar is going to chat with Ace and Gary or whoever's up. There's the D20.
And just so
Maverick
you
and
know,
Goose.
it's not a very like scared, please don't tell them. It's more like
Yeah.
it would be a headache if you told them, please don't tell them. Just so you have tone.
8.
Yeah, 8 is same as that.
Cool.
Except you don't see anyone walking by that hour of the night.
Okay. Well, Peter, how's your soul? Do you pray to a god?
Just casual chit chat.
I don't believe I've been asked that question quite that way by a cleric before, but yes, indeed, I do pray.
To whom do you pray?
Well, I'm not quite what you'd call devout, but my family has been raised under the symbol of Torm.
Oh, I see. Not a bad choice.
Well, Torm would be considered one of the more popular deities around Castonia, of course, and noticing your holy symbol, he would say, as is the Raven Queen, of course.
Yes, good man yourself. Well, when you die, my friend, may you die well and quickly. And she will be there. You'll meet her before you meet Torm, my friend. If you've lived a good life, she will usher you on to Torm's lands, the realm, where he holds sway. And there you'll meet him. Everyone meets the Raven Queen first.
I'm very much aware of the dangers my job holds, but I pray to Torm quite often that that day shall not come for quite some time.
Yes, it will, though. Good night.
I've no doubts. I do not fear death, but if I could delay it as long as I can.
That's fair. Do you like some breakfast wine?
I best not drink while on duty.
I won't say anything.
Roll a persuasion check.
He's not trying to persuade him.
Okay.
He's just saying he's just gonna let him make his own decision.
Okay, yeah, no, he's not going to then.
That was a test, and you passed it.
All for me.
Yeah, exactly. Good man, Peter. And you take a swig of his wine.
Mm-hmm.
Turn his back on him, completely ignore him.
Yeah, so Peter and his friend Dieter, they just kind of patrol the camp, hand on hilt all the time on a sheathed sword,
Okay.
just in a kind of marching patrol. But yeah, no other instances occur later that evening, so you are free to travel yet again.
Shadar's pillow talk must be phenomenal.
Maybe I'll find out.
Well, there's lots of talk of
Shadar's,
burying.
I was gonna say Shadar's pillow talk is more, would you like me to use the pillow to smother you so you can meet the Raven Queen faster?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, as morning breaks, I'm going to ask Matt to roll that d6 again to see what the weather is like today.
Certainly.
That's the weather, man.
I'm the
Control
weatherman.
the weather now.
Same day, same type of day.
See, we're
quite
keeping
warm.
it good. We're keeping it pleasant.
Fucking
Love
sun
the
shines on
weather.
Elfric, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. and
Clearly, there are those in the party that are favored amongst the gods, and those who are not.
If only he could cast sculpt weather, that would be great.
So,
Didn't learn that one, I'm afraid.
after having your breakfast and getting ready and dressed and ready for road once again, Tyrion and Mina, you would be the first to notice that the road is very quiet, because the last person you saw traversing this road was the one you saw last night. The ones you saw last night, they were in drips and drabs, but there's nobody on the road today, which is strange because this is quite a busy channel. But again, you would all notice this, obviously, after the first 30 minutes to an hour, that nobody has traveled against you. But there are still people traveling with you, going the same direction, but the direction towards you, you haven't encountered a soul.
And on the horizon, there's no billowing smoke or.
No, you're still a good. You're one more kind of night of camping away from Kingdom's Cross.
And we're not really seeing any signs of the violet madness around this area, are we?
Damon is getting an inkling that wildlife isn't as sparse as it used to be. Or isn't, is sparse.
As abundant.
Yeah, isn't as abundant as the word.
Interesting. Okay.
Unusual, isn't it? Seems to turn into a one-way road.
Well, it makes me wonder if there's a troll ahead towing a bridge.
Or some goats.
I was more thinking that whatever's happening in Kingdom's Cross has now turned the returning parties to none.
Possibility, but
Perhaps they're not letting anybody pass through.
yeah.
At least not in this direction.
Those are more along the lines of what I was thinking.
Either way, I guess we need to make haste then, right?
It would appear so. Luckily, it's on our journey.
Mm-hmm.
We do have the Duke with us. He might be able to provide a little bit of sway, even if there's a bit of a lockdown in effect.
I just hope this isn't some overreaching entitlements of the young Duke.
That's a good point. We won't find out until we arrive.
As you continue to march on during the day, it kind of closes in on late afternoon, evening time. It's still relatively bright out, but twilight is starting to set in. And again, people have been kind of walking past you, kind of going at a much faster pace. And then other people have been kind of trailing behind, kind of all coming from Mirren. And as you approach early evening time, you kind of start to notice that some people have some of the carts and wagons you saw earlier that day are coming back against you now. There seems to be faces and vehicles you recognize from earlier on that are actually now, there's traffic starting to come against you. I don't know if you want to interact with any of the people passing by, but they seem...
Yeah.
Some of them seem disgruntled and angry.
We'll stop someone, for sure.
Okay.
Excuse me, dear fellow. Weren't you traveling this way only earlier today?
So you managed to get the attention of a fellow on horseback. And yeah, he comes to a halt. And he says, "You're wasting your time traveling to Kingdom's Cross. The guard are turning people away further down, about an hour down the road."
Why so?
Well, there's been another attack, and they're trying to turn people away from these roads, sending us back to Mirren.
Do you know what type of attack?
Oh, I don't know. I think a cart was attacked further up. I didn't get a good look. The guards have it fairly well cornered off, but apparently someone died.
Oh, okay. Thank you, good sir.
Yes, well, I'll be sure as to write a note to the Duchess that this has interfered with my trade route and trading and my livelihood. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable, I tell you. The guards should be really doing more, and he doesn't notice that the Duke of Fenwell is in your company. The guards should be doing more to protect the people against these bandits and raiders and what have you.
Well, my friend, the Duke is right here. Would you like to say that to his face?
He kind of turns and he would know what Duke Albert Fenwell looks like, but he was referring to Duchess Tenno, as you're in the Tenno Dukedom.
Oh, sorry.
But he would, like, his face would turn red, because he is in the presence of nobility and damn near royalty, I suppose. And he says, "Well, yes, well,
maybe the Duke could put in a word for you."
No need. Apologies for my crude outburst, sir. And yes, well, good day." And he'll just kind of trot off. He grumbles, sort of.
Shadar chuckles quietly under his breath.
But the Duke will kind of, as that guy trails off, he will kind of say to everyone, like, "Well, this is a bold move from the Duchess to seal off such a vital vein in the Castonian trade route. This is not a simple as that man has made it out to be.
No, without doubt, there is most definitely more to go on. In fact, the overturned cart and a raid attack could easily be a disassociation or a false attempt at covering up a wider incident.
I fear that is the case. Let's press on and let's get some answers. And rightly so. About an hour down the road, and let me bring you guys over to this map. Oh no! Ignore that. Wrong map. This map. God dang it! Roll 20. So yes. So this is the path you're down. Evening is set in. Some of the guards are carrying some torches, just to make things a little bit brighter. But any of you, obviously, with dark vision, can see a little bit better than that. Tyrion, I don't think you can see anything.
Yeah, I would take a torch.
Give me a second to.
Do we have one more night before we reach King's Cross or no?
Yes, one more night.
So we'll hit it tomorrow?
Yeah.
If we get through this checkpoint.
One more.
Every time Tyrion lights a torch around Damon, he's just sitting there going, thinking to himself like, I really must make him something to see in the dark.
More than 10 feet from his face.
Everyone else can see, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, the path, you come up to a kind of intersection in the path, a giant rock nestled between two, kind of not very high by any means. It's kind of like a little valley, but the
Sorry. I hate myself. Can we take like a 3-minute break? Because Tyrion and Mina are about to like have their moment, and I really would like to watch it. I'm sorry. Like on the stream.
Absolutely. If you'd like, we can take a little break.
Yes,
Fine by
sure.
me.
Sorry, thank you.
And there's a giant boulder in the road that and the beaten path kind of curves around it. But it is quite dark now, as evening into night as well and truly set in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just kind of the same way I did before, just kind of like as things are winding down for the night, she'll just send Shadar a message that says something like, I won't push, but it is important. And just leave it at that.
Okay.
So we're getting tonight towards late evening, but we're gonna push on through, right?
So the guy on the horseback said it's about an hour up the road. It has been a little bit over an hour now. Like an hour and 15 maybe.
Okay, so we're well on our way, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So Damon's gonna just turn to Mina and say, I'm just thinking, looking at this area, Mina,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be an idea maybe for you to ride along with the Duke and maybe create the bubble around you and the Duke, just in case we were to run into anything here?
You mean for camping? Yeah.
I mean on the cart, so we can carry on moving, but if anything were to
I
happen,
don't think you can move with it.
it has to be on a stable surface, right? Which is the car.
Let's look at it. It's in a mobile dome around and above you and remains stationary for the duration. So no. It's a great idea, but the spell just doesn't really work that way. I mean, you stay in the center and it doesn't move. Like if I were to move, it wouldn't move with me. I could try it, but I don't think it would work. It would go around the cart.
Yeah, I
and
thought
hit
it
the
moved
ground.
with the car. Okay.
And then when they moved out of it, they would just leave the protection.
Yeah, okay.
As you're having that conversation, Shadar, you took a few steps forward. You do see this kind of warm orange light from behind the rock. There appears to be a torch lit. I don't know if you can see.
Okay, no, but I sent you a DM there on Roll20 or a whisper.
Okay.
But it's just basically to say that while they're doing that, Shadar has taken a couple of steps forward and he's looking and listening to see if there's any hushed, like, oh, hold on, here they come, kind of shit.
No, but you do see You do see a torchlight coming from a little bit behind that boulder.
Okay.
You should be able to see it. Hang on, let me see.
I can see the boulder. I can see up to that's about 60 feet is there.
But you should be able to see the actual light. Hang on. Yeah. 2 seconds. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's vision. Okay, that's funny. But yeah, you can see torchlight coming from beyond here.
Okay. He'll see Damon behind him, and he'll say, "My friend, torchlight from the south." Whichever way that is.
Yep. Yeah, it is south. Yeah. Oh well, no, it probably wouldn't be. It'd be northwest.
Torchlight from the northwest, my friend. Curious way to prepare an ambush, don't you think?
Yes, rather.
Whoever it is, I'm pretty sure they heard us coming. What with the horses and the size of the Duke's ego.
Do you wish to engage?
Maybe investigate.
Well, how about you do? It seems though you are the best one for listening to us, but I can aid you a little bit if you want.
Sure. How so?
So I put my hand on your shoulder and say, you might be able to sneak around a little bit more like this. Just make sure not to attack, though, okay? And I cast invisibility on Shadar.
Nice.
Okay.
So Mina would probably dismount her horse and offer to go as well.
Yeah, I think Shadar will go as far as here. Try and suss out what's going on.
Yeah, so in the distance, Shadar, and invisible as you are, you see a broken cart up ahead. You also see, and now I don't have tokens for them, but there are armored individuals, 2 of which are holding torches around the cart. There's about 4 of them, and one of them is like down on one knee inspecting something.
Do they look to be wearing uniforms, or did they have
uniformed armor? Yeah.
Not a bandit vibe then?
No.
Okay. He'll wave. Obviously, he can't wave to his friends because he's invisible. So he will pop back, and he'll pop back to Damon and Tyrion and Elfric, and he'll let them know what's going on.
No, just keep in mind we can't see you.
So he'll
out.
And he'll very, very sharply and quickly say, "My friends, sorry,
crying out loud."
Yes, seems to be some armored and uniformed individuals investigating
Uniformed?
some sort
Do you
of.
recognize the uniform?
Did I recognize the uniform?
From that far away, probably not. But
Rough colors.
It was just plain kind of chain mail, but they all had an insignia. But you are too far away to see what the insignia was.
Okay. I think if that was the case, then he would probably go closer. Then, if I can reckon that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And if you get close enough, you will notice that there are actually several bodies strewn about the place, and one of the armored individuals is inspecting one of them. You also see, so there are 2 bodies that you can see and 4 guards. However, you also start to hear, like, those guards are kind of chatting amongst themselves, and they're kind of talking about, they're saying stuff like, we cannot wait much longer for our reinforcements to arrive and take our fallen allies back to Kingdom's Cross. We can't keep turning people away either. And they're just kind of talking back and forth in that regard. And you also hear a kind of mumbling. You hear someone just go, no. And that seems to be kind of coming from behind the cart back here. And these guys don't seem to be paying much heed to it.
Okay, so can I tell who or what, or who or where their allegiance lies now by being a bit closer?
Yeah, so you can see the Tenno dukedom.
Okay. Okay, well, he'll pop back now, and he will explain that to them.
God damn it, Shadar. Don't do that.
I'm sorry. Only a little bit. Fellows of the Tenno dukedom.
So,
If there are
not
anything to
enemies,
go by.
at least on the face of it.
Well, roughly where the man on horseback said that the diversion was, could this be the crowd turning people away?
Possibly.
Would you like me to go introduce myself?
I think we should all go and say hello.
Okay, let's do that. But Shadar, as you can stay like that until you do something, why don't you get a more advantageous position behind, just in case?
Sounds like a plan.
You can practice being a ghost. Sorry.
I was going to insight whether that affected Shadar facially, but I can't see him to see.
No.
It'd be
whether
a hell
that
of a
worked.
high DC.
I'm not going to tell any of you. I think he will. Yeah, he'll snake up to about there. How high is that, Mark?
Yeah, so the kind it's not so much a cliff, but a kind of very sharp incline, and it's about 20 foot high. So you have a nice viewpoint from where you're at.
Yeah, you can stay there.
And I suppose what you see from that angle is a individual kind of curled up in a ball with their back resting towards the high side of this dilapidated cart. They're not in armor, but they are in kind of like a tunic and long johns kind of thing, and they're just kind of rocking back and forth, and they're just kind of saying something, but you're probably a bit too far away to hear. But they're just kind of shaking their head and just going, no, things like that, you know. But yeah, the guards do obviously notice you guys approaching, and two of them kind of come up to Damon, Alfric, and Sir Tyrion, and I'm going to bring the Duke and his men a little bit closer. And he says, halt, travellers. I'm afraid this road is closed. I'm going to have to ask you to return to Mirren and await further notice. The road opens once more. Apologies for the inconvenience. I know many travellers have been very much put out, but there's been an attack, or one of several, actually, and now we must close this road.
Well, we're actually escorting the Duke, as you can probably see behind me there, to Pethlin. So I'm sure you can understand that it is very important for us to push on through despite the attacks. What's happened? Is there anything we can do to help?
The Duke, and the Duke is kind of a little bit too far behind, but yeah, they'll come up a little bit closer, and they'll kind of pay heed to that, and he'll say, this certainly changes things. And he whispers to one of his comrades, and says, you gather to say, what should we do? And he says, it appears that one of the many attacks, the frequent attacks that have been happening on this road has now been that the very guard of the Tenno dukedom has been targeted, and as you can see, and Damon, you would immediately notice that that's the same cart that left Mirren just the night before.
Okay.
But all of the weapons that the tarp had covered is gone, but the cart is destroyed. You did note that there was a little over half a dozen of the guard. There are definitely two bodies that you can see here, and one maybe further down the trail. Let's say Shadar can see it, and then another person kind of huddled there, but no more.
So this is essentially all the guards are either dead or talking to us. Okay.
And who
would seek to attack the guards? Do you know the identity of these bandits? Is there anyone with a grudge against the Duchess and her men?
We have a suspect. Yes, and normally I would not divulge this information to the common folk, but I think the Duke might be privy to this information. But there is an individual that we believe is in Kingdom's Cross, and we're trying to locate them now as we speak. But it is currently not a safe place to be.
Who is this individual? Perhaps we can help.
We don't have an actual name for the individual. He just goes by the name. Well, they just go by the name Lahadoda. That's what the name we have given this individual is, who's been targeting not just the town or the guard of Castonia, but also certain individuals, particularly along this road.
Must be a pretty powerful individual to be able to take on such large forces.
Aye, and the evidence have shown that it is in fact an individual. Any of the sites that we have cleared don't show any signs of a mass ambush by any means. Whoever operated in stealth.
And
that's
if you
who
don't
killed-
mind me asking, how many lives have they taken?
Again, he'll turn to a colleague and they'll just kind of say, "Oh God, is it 10? Is it 12 now?"
Wow.
And is that who killed your men here?
We believe so. The modus operandi is quite similar.
And where are the weapons and goods that I saw you with yesterday?
Yes. You've. He kind of didn't. He wasn't expecting that one. That kind of came out of left field. I was like, you obviously seen this card from Mirren then. Interesting. No. Some of our men have brought these the goods straight to Kingdom's Cross. They were in need of them straight away. We left the rest of the wreckage here and the remains of our comrades for some more of our men and a cleric to come and put these men to rest.
Would I be able to help in fixing the cart? Maybe we'd be able to load the bodies at least, and at least bring them along the way.
You absolutely could. Yeah, it's not damaged beyond repair by any means.
And I do have the mending cantrip, so between that and my tools that I have, as long as it's not broken beyond repair, and I mean, I can even fix things from like trees and stuff if, Satyrian or someone was to lop off pieces of wood that I need and stuff that
Yeah,
way.
sure. Yeah, I think that would be okay.
So yeah, that's what I'll tend to is I'll start working on getting the cart up together so we can cart the bodies. Essentially a gurney.
Okay. Yeah, they'll allow you to do that. He says, well, it's a good thing we encountered you. None of us have the particular know-how for advanced repair works of this nature. Basic repairs is all we're all trained to do.
Trust me, dear boy, this is not advanced.
So the bodies, how are they killed?
Every single one throat cut.
Okay, so by seemingly mundane means.
You would also actually, Alfred, I'll take an investigation check from you if you're looking at the bodies.
Okay.
Would Rocket be able to assist?
Is Rocket proficient in investigation?
Probably not. Although actually I am, so I don't know if that counts for him. Let me just check.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence. I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Okay, so just be a
Just
straight.
have a go by myself.
13. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. So every single one. There are 3 bodies there. Every single one had the throat cut. But you also notice that all of their blades are still sheathed, which leads you to believe that these guys didn't even have a chance to draw their weapons.
Very curious. If one man had died in such a way, it would be one thing, but both of them.
And when you're kind of going around the back of the cart, you also see and hear this individual who is kind of curled up in a ball.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And he doesn't even make eye contact. He's just like curled up, rocking back and forth.
What does his condition appear to be on a closer look?
So when you're approaching him, the guards that are keeping watch will turn to you and say, just so you know, we found him in this condition. He was one of the survivors of the attack. But,
Is he physically harmed, or it's just his mind that seems to be affected?
Doesn't appear to be physically harmed, and that leads us to believe that all of the men were a victim here. His mind was sharp, before he left for this journey the last we spoke of him, and now his mind appears to be gone.
If he could be helped somewhat, he may be able to provide an eyewitness account of what happened here.
Mm-hmm. If you'd like to interact with him, you can.
Well, I'm thinking... Shidar's invisible at the moment. So, Satyrian, is it possible that is there anything you can do for this man with your... I know you have the ability to heal others, but perhaps not their minds.
No, it is limbs, cuts, abrasions, disease. The mind I hold no control over, I'm afraid.
Would I be able to... would I be able to examine him in such a way as to determine whether he has like a magical fear
Yeah.
cast on him or something to that effect?
Let's...
So I was gonna...
I do have... I could examine him. I do have detect magic. If that would... I could use that to see if there's any residue around him or something.
Go for it, yeah. And as you you can do that, but as you approach him, you are able to pick up tangible sentences from him.
Oh, okay.
So what he's saying while he's rocking back and forth is, I don't know him, I don't know where he is, I don't know where he's going, I don't know him, I don't know where he is, I don't know where he's going. And he's just saying that over and over and over again. As you detect magic, you get, like you see things as like an aura.
Yes.
You're almost blinded by the enchantment magic coming off this guy.
Oh, wow.
But funnily enough, as you're looking around, you pick up enchantment magic coming from Tyrion. And you obviously pick up the invisibility, which is illusion, I believe, coming from Shadar.
Yes.
So...
Shadar will drop the invisibility. Sorry, Andy.
Okay.
And he'll very, very abruptly say, perhaps I can help with this.
Okay, I'm asking, how are you dropping it? Because you have to make an attack of some sort to drop it.
Oh, sorry, that's very true, actually, yeah. Well, then he'll just speak out loud, and assume that you will cop that he wants to be heard.
Oh, of course. Sorry, Shidar. And I'll click my fingers and it'll stop.
Sorry,
I was going to say, given that Mina used Dispel magic on herself in the last fight to dispel kind of magic in her head, could she perhaps do it for this person? Like just kind of...
That's what I was thinking of doing as well.
Kind of say, let me, and then try.
I don't know if we could... If it's possible for Mina and I to combine our efforts at all. I don't know, that's not rules as written, but if we both have dispel magic, perhaps we could both try and
cross the streams.
Yeah. He's afflicted by a powerful enchantment. I'll tell the party that much. If we can rid him of it.
Perhaps you try and dispel the magic,
sense.
But it doesn't work. Whether it's a long-lasting residual effect, or if it was whatever magic is dominating this person's mind is a much higher level, you're not sure.
Shadar will pipe up again. As I said, let me handle this.
Yeah, go for it.
And he'll walk up to him and take the gloves off. And he looks at him. He's irritated by his babbling. He's irritated by his weak mind.
And he's looking at you, Shadar, with his pupils completely dilated. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he's going.
The only thing you need to know, my friend, is that the Raven Queen waits for you. She grants me the power to do this. And he'll put both of his hands on the side of his head and he'll cast Greater Restoration.
Ooh.
Yeah, a bit more specialist could do the trick.
Up. It's in the chat there now.
Okay. Okay, I think that would actually do it, yeah. So you put his hands in his head and he's like, I don't know who he is, I don't know where he's going, I don't know who... and you can just see his jaw slack, and he just goes, and he just kind of holds his jaw like, as if like he's been in like intense pain. He was like, "What? In the name of the gods?"
No, in the name of the god.
And he was like, "My head. Oh, my face is so sore." He's been talking for hours.
Yeah.
So
What
the jaw is
happened? Yeah.
Well, it was a ghost. It was a ghost, I tell you. And he looks around at his comrades.
The gloves start to go back on when he hears ghost.
We heard the noise and rustling in the bushes, and we stopped our cart. Next thing we know, my comrades fell, and I just felt a sharp pain in my head. Just the one question, or is just this question, I just felt compelled to answer, even though I didn't know the answer. And they just, the ghost just left.
What did it look like?
I couldn't tell.
Man, woman, floating, armor, robes, carrying a weapon, not carrying a weapon.
Excuse me, if I may, what question did it ask you?
So he'll answer Shidar's question first. He'll say, blended in with the night. Dark blue robes and hood. Strange, deep voice. And as I had that pain in my head, the same questions that I was compelled to answer over and over again. Who are you? Do you know Ilfric Elnarin? Do you know where he is? Do you know where he's going?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know who he is. I told him, and he wouldn't stop asking. Even after he left the voice, and I was compelled to answer every single time.
Do you know Elfric? Do you know where he is and where he's going?
Do you know Elfric Elnarin? Do you know where he is? Do you know where he's going?
Yeah, so Alfric, normally quite level-headed, is quite clearly perturbed by this. There was a little bit of creeping concern coming on as he heard the description, but now he's looking very out of sorts.
Shadar his head will turn in a very, very slow way, and he'll look at him. He'll say, "Well, my friend, it seems a being of considerable power seeks you out."
I thought after all this time, and coming so far away. Well, this is troubling.
Is now the time?
Perhaps when we have somewhere more secure to rest.
Can I insight check?
Mm-hmm. What exactly are you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out. Is his first reaction, or was the first thing across his face self-preservation, or could I detect if there was concern for others, i.e. us?
I'll let Matt answer that.
Yeah, so his first thought was just sort of outright shock, just surprise, kind of taken aback, and then sort of almost like a resignation, I suppose.
Okay. Cool.
But there is something else that comes to mind as I detected the magic that was cast on this poor fellow. I could not help but notice at the same time. Tyrion is also under the effect of a powerful enchantment.
Actually, you would also notice that Daemon does too.
And Daemon. I know, of course, you carry many magical items and artifacts upon your persons, but I just wanted to make sure in case there was anything that you yourselves were not aware of.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Damon also has a magical effect emanating from him.
I mean, I don't, I don't know about Satyrian, but I don't feel any different to any normal time.
It's enchantment as well, by the way.
I'm quite aware of mine, but Damon, is this something to do with your newfound tiefling puberty issue?
If
Do we
I
really
may,
have to say it that way? I mean,
if I may, we are presently in a lot of company, and my main concern is figuring out who's waiting for us at Kingdom Cross. Perhaps this could wait for us to make camp.
yes.
That is probably sensible.
So
I just thought it ought to be known
this,
in case there was anything untoward. More so than we have already encountered.
and this blue-robed figure has killed more than this party. This is who you think is, and she's talking to the guards now, who you think has taken King's Cross.
It sounds like it. I wonder if it's actually a good idea for us to take Alfric into that, just in case.
I would not. Perhaps it is better if I go alone.
No,
I would not want to take you into
I was more
harm's way.
I was more meaning to keep you out of it, let alone us all go into it.
You mentioned giving them a name because of an MO, and what's that MO? How has everyone died?
Well, you're asking the guards this, I take it.
Yeah.
It's quite simple, really. No witnesses. Nobody ever saw them coming. It's almost as if they were killed by a ghost, which is quite it's quite similar to the MO of an urban legend or a folk tale of a superstitious type of assassin known as Lahadoda. It's just a name that we have given them.
Along the coast, it's a very it's a well-known legend along the coast.
It's a folk tale among the beaches and the coastline, but word travels fast about these tall tales, and it's a particular gripe among the guards of Castonia. That's how they got their name out here.
Are there any flowers near the bodies?
Nope.
From my experience, most stories are bloated.
If you are inspecting the bodies, though, if anyone's inspecting the bodies, other than Elfric's kind of glancing investigation, I'll take a medicine check.
I'm gonna need to inspect these bodies.
Oh yeah, I'll take a medicine check then.
Yeah, Tyrion as well, if that's okay.
If either of you are proficient, it'll give the other advantage.
No.
I'm not proficient.
Okay, so I'll take two separate rolls then.
Oh,
13.
7.
Yeah, no, they have their throats cut. That was the cause of death. You don't really discern anything else.
Can anyone else check, or?
Yeah, everyone's entitled to check.
Okay, I'll go do a medicine check. I have +9 on that. Guidance.
Oh,
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, 19's good. So we'll say Mina inspected the body, Tyrion inspected the body, and you went to the third one. I suppose the guys kind of did the standard kind of first aid checks. Like, they're dead, but, check just the rudimentary inspection. But you are much more thorough. You remove boots, you remove armor, you remove everything. And you roll this particular one over on their back just to get a thorough inspection in. And you don't accidentally touch it or anything, but you see small growths of violet fungus on the small of his back.
Oh, he'll back up.
Very small.
Okay. My friends, why don't you come and look at this? This is rather curious. I'd keep a safe distance, though. Seems Violet Madness is at work again.
Problems upon problems.
Oh.
So when I say that it is small, it seems like this is very early, very, very early stages of the infection.
Perhaps the bodies ought to be burnt.
Oh, no doubt.
Is there any... We've seen these spore-spreading fungal creatures that can pass the virus on. On
So
the disease.
They do so by spores, so it's inhalation and then it grows on the skin.
So from what we've learned of it, is there if Shadar examined his nose or mouth, would there be any way to tell that was how he caught it?
Do you know what? I would say yes.
And so he would have caught it the traditional way.
Yeah, I'll just take your roll at 19 from before because it's all the one examination, and you can you get whatever, like a piece of cloth, and you don't use your finger to reach into the back of his throat and up his nose kind of thing, but you swab him, and yeah, on the edge or on the ends of the cloth that you use to swab are residual kind of violet and golden flecks of this myconid kind of spory type situation. So this person has inhaled the violet madness.
Violet and gold flecks, so he's drinking Goldschlager as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. So okay, right, Grant. So it's not like whatever killed him sort of left behind this residual infection.
It'd be impossible to tell. He could have been killed. He could have inhaled it earlier that day.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. It's impossible to tell.
Right. Okay. Pass it on to his friends and colleague.
I'm gonna go up to the guy that was sitting on the floor. My dear fellow, I want your permission to search your thoughts. I want to see if I can get a better picture of who it was that attacked you.
He is definitely going to outright say no because he is afraid of anyone messing with his mind anymore. He's like, no more magic. Stay on my head.
Well, my friend, I'm the one who returned you to your right mind. I still hold that power. So should any worry or concern rest on your shoulders right now, let me assure you
that will require a persuasion check, DC 14.
Okay.
I can help him with that.
Okay, how are you helping?
Well, I mean, I am proficient in persuasion, so...
Oh, yeah, you two go for it. Yeah, that makes more
I
sense.
say that I was helping because I'm trying to get him to do it.
Okay.
Can I give myself guidance in this?
You can.
That would be 20.
So he'll look to you and he'll look to Damon. He's like, if you can guarantee my safety, then
I can guarantee your safety. The Raven Queen does not call for you just yet. That comes later.
Be careful with him, Shadar. He's been through enough on my account already.
So I'm going to take out my notebook and my pencil that I always carry around with me for when I'm creating my designs. Alfred, I might get you to ask some questions about the individual while I jot it. It just help me concentrate if I'm not asking as well. Okay, you ready? I'm saying that to the gentleman.
Yes. Well, no, but yes.
Okay. And I will use my Helm of Detect Thoughts.
Okay, he will willingly fail the saving throw to go beyond the surface thoughts.
And yeah, get ready to draw whatever it is he sees.
Okay, so I'm just going to play this out like a little scene. You are seeing through his eyes as you recollect his memories. And on a night very much like this one, could have been last night, probably was. They're just trotting along this path on the cart, and just as he said, they hear a rustling in the trees, and like a branch snaps, and the guard are just like, "Halt! Intruder, make yourself known. This is the town guard, or this is the Castonian guard. Reveal yourself." And the cart stops, and two of the guard get off, and they kind of draw their blades, and they kind of, or sorry, they don't draw their blades because that didn't happen, and they go over to investigate. The one of them's holding a torch, and the other one's kind of like looking around. I was like, they turn and says, "Nothing there." And they begin to walk back, and like the guy whose eyes you're seeing through, all you just see is like this blur just like swipe in front of these guys, and everything goes black for a minute, but only for a second. And you just see them like falling to the ground, and another guard goes to draw for their blade, but then another blink of darkness, and he just kind of goes and just keels over. Then there are other guards on this cart, and they all draw their weapons, and they're like, "Who goes there? Did you see them?" No, I didn't see anything. And the person whose eyes you're seeing towards is kind of looking around, as are the other ones, but he looks over one direction down the path that they were traveling and sees nothing but dark, like, looming darkness in the distance, and looks back, and all of his allies are gone. They're just gone. And then he's like, "Hail, comrades, where are you?" And he turns to the path that he was just looking down a second ago, and there, right in front of him, is this like 6.5, almost 7 foot tall, robed figure, dark blue robes that almost just blend in with the night sky. And you see, I suppose, more than like what this individual is taken in, because they're just so struck with fear. Yeah. You're taking in the finer details, and you do, in fact, poking through the little slit in the robes is the hilt of a black metal hilt of a sword. That's and you just and you see kind of little flecks of white hair billow out in the night breeze from his hood. Can you make a perception check, because he is quite concealed?
Okay. Okay, I have no way to guide myself anything on this. Nah, I think that's gonna be good.
Okay, you don't get a good look at his face.
I could actually. I could. Yes, I use my Flash of Genius, which will add an extra 5, so that'll make it a 14.
Okay, that makes things a little bit better. So you can see, you kind of see from like the tip of his nose down, and just as the wind catches the side of his hood, you don't see his eyes or anything. Just as the wind catches the side of his hood, you see violet growths on his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
This fungal growths on his cheek, and he puts his hand, like it's coming into your vision. He puts his hand where you assume is the dude's forehead, and he says, "Do you know Elfric Elnaran? Do you know where he is? Do you know where he is going?" And the rest is history, really. It's just him going, "I don't know who he is. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he's going." And he says that like 5 or 6 times before the guy in the robes just goes, "The search continues." And he just turns and just blends in with the night as he walks off.
Was this the guy that I saw in the theatre that day?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I thought it was.
The big dude, not the slender dude.
The bigger one, the one that put me in the box.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's why I was kind of rolling that perception check if you got a good look of his whole face, but you're pretty sure this is the dude that put you in the crate.
So he's that big and he's that fast as night. Fuck. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I've not even started drawing yet because I know what he looks like. I'll come out of
And that's the first
vision.
time you've heard him speak in common, by the way.
Yeah, because he was talking. Yeah. So yeah, I'll come back out of it as such, and I should just look at Alfric and say, this gentleman, who's looking for you, is the same gentleman that was looking for you back in Grendel. It's the same gentleman that put me in a box, and I believe it's the same gentleman that started off this madness, at least in our town.
That is... Describe him to me.
And I'll try to draw as the most accurate picture as I can of the gentleman. And yeah, you'll see essentially what I saw. Well, hopefully. I don't know.
So
Nice.
yeah, I'd study the drawing carefully.
It seems you may be of a problem to their plans. It seems that anywhere you go, they go.
So it seems. I don't recognize.
No, looking at the drawing, this is definitely not an individual you've seen before.
Yeah. I'm as confused as you are, Damon, to tell you the truth. But certainly this individual is, well, looking for me in particular, and doubtlessly they are linked with the spawn of this this purple pestilence.
I think we need to find Galfond.
I couldn't agree more.
And if you recall from the letter, he is in Pethlin.
Yeah.
Last you heard.
That's where he was going. And that's why I had to meet Alfric, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it seems like the quicker we get to Pethlin, the better. But if this is indeed the individual that's waiting at the King's Cross, we need to be very, very careful. Last time I met this gentleman, he took me out with one shot, essentially.
I have something of an idea. But it might be risky.
Which is?
Well, he's after me specifically. So it seems like it might be the perfect bait for a trap.
I don't like that idea.
We're better off engaging him on our own terms than him arriving in ambush and attacking in our sleep or something similar. We know he's near. Know he's looking for me.
But I don't
Now's
think
the time
they
to
know
strike.
you're near.
Yes, they obviously lost your track. I would suggest we get to Galfond first. See what he may know.
Perhaps he may be able to. I'm sure he will have some sort of knowledge that can aid us. A man such as him.
Tell me, Alfric, I know Galfond had such things as to be able to make himself look different. He would often use it when he wanted to wander around the town aimlessly. Have you got anything of the same?
Nothing of such, nothing of that level of sophistication. I'm afraid my education was rather lacking in such things. If there were to be a scroll or a written form of such a spell, perhaps I could learn it with some study, but nothing that I have available to me this time.
Well, I suppose we should at least push on to the Kingdom's Cross. Maybe we won't get a chance to get to Galfond.
Well, I hate to be the one to say this, but our dear poor survivor here, we're going to require you to remove everything you wear and stand for inspection.
Okay. Just gonna roll something to see if he actually has it or not.
Jesus. This poor bastard's life comes down to a dice roll.
Yeah.
All of us?
So yeah, he strips. No, he doesn't like immediately strip down. He's like, "Excuse me."
I turn away, just like,
My dear boy, I'm sure you've heard of the deadly pathogen that is annihilating the dukedom to the east. Well, your departed friend here has signs of said infection. You were in contact with a prime spreader. If you have it, we need to address it before we bring you to a crowded area.
He'll kind of turn to the other guard, the guards that have been stationed there, and they kind of overheard this, and now they're kind of concerned because they've been moving bodies and, well, kind of guarding the scene and stuff. They're also quite concerned now. So they're going to say, yes, we best do as the good sir asks, and I think it's only prudent that we actually all do the same. We don't want to spread this thing. So not just the guy that had his mind altered, but the rest of the guard are actually going to volunteer this. And after
feeling like
inspection,
a vegetarian at a barbecue.
They don't have any growths that you can see. All of them.
Some luck at least.
Lucky you. Put your clothes on, man. You look ridiculous.
So yeah, they're all relieved to hear that they are Violet Madness free for now, and yeah, that's one little thing off the checklist.
But in a similar vein, before the departure takes place, using utmost precautions, all the bodies will be collected and moved off the road and fired.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much of a protest against that.
Yeah, this changes things. So instead of fixing this car, I'm now going to bust it up to use as firewood for the fire.
Makes sense.
Kindling.
Like, God damn it, I just spent 10 minutes on that thing.
a whole cart's worth of wood. This thing must be burning like fucking 60 feet into the air. And this ghost is just like walking away with his back to it. If only it looked over its shoulder.
What was that fucking song? Like, cool guys don't look at
Cool guys walk away from explosions. Yeah.
So by all accounts, you will reach Kingdom's Cross by about early afternoon tomorrow.
So we need to set up camp.
If you could press on through the night, but you would be looking at con saves for exhaustion, or you can have a rest.
Let's have a rest.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as if Kingdom's Cross is any safer.
Yeah.
This individual is operating there as well.
Okay.
Alfric, you are most definitely within one of the protection of our bubbles this evening.
Yes, my friend.
If you insist.
Let there be no question that we're... I at least have your back.
Perhaps I should camp elsewhere. It doesn't seem fair to drag you into this.
Would you have said the same to me had I made the same request?
Certainly not.
No, sir.
So I'm going to whip Alfric's ass with my tail, and I'm just going to say to him,
I'm going.
As Shadar, do say that again, and you'll get another.
I think we have an understanding.
Yes, we are here for each other. And with that, I actually give a sly little look to Satyrion.
I love the aggressive typing. It's like, well, actually, you're not.
I'm also
Full
going to
stop.
do. I'm also going to do prestidigitation on the guard that had his mind messed with, because I'm assuming he's probably soiled himself and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I'm going to make sure he's cleaned up at least, and
Gotcha.
yeah, he's not looking and smelling like crap.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm going to make sure if Mina doesn't, I'm going to make sure to do the tiny hut to
Well,
make sure
Matt
Alfred's
also has
protected.
his own tiny hut.
Yes,
Don't
I
you?
can.
God,
cast
combine
that.
all your references and you have Lehman's tiny hotel.
Can we do that thing, where you put all the 3 over and then there's like in the sections in between?
I'd
And there's
love
a Venn
to.
diagram.
This is probably rule of cool, but I'd love to like have both of us use the spell slot and then just make like a bigger one, like a big giant.
Yeah, but
Like the crystal maze.
Both can't leave then.
On account of how overpowered that would be for every rest, I'm going to say no to that.
Fair enough.
I mean, we all fit in them anyway. It's just flavors.
Yeah, I know, but
Not with the Duke and his guards, we won't.
Yeah, we will. Because I think he gets 9, I get
It's
9.
up, 9 apiece.
Is it 9? Oh God,
Yeah.
I thought it
Yeah.
was 6.
Oh yeah,
It's,
but
it's
I meant-
basically a 3x3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um.
You can
cozy in
just, we
there,
can
though.
just have next door bubbles.
Yeah.
We're all glamping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
if
guess-
that is the case, Mina, I will allow it to be just if you combine the spells, they're just one big hut.
Nice.
Nice.
Just for flavor purposes,
Yeah.
you know.
But when the Tarrasque attacks, we won't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I think he could probably get through that somehow anyway.
So yeah, okay. What's the plan? Is to camp then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And again, business as usual. 2 of the town guard or 2 of the Duke's guard, and however X amount of you would like to take first or second watch.
I don't think I'll be taking any watch. I think I'll
Yeah.
have my hut set up.
Okay.
Tyrion will take first watch.
I think Alfred would like to take a watch tonight.
I'll do first
One of
with
them.
Tyrion, if that's okay.
Shadar's happy doing the last watch and getting up and doing this thing in the morning.
Okay. Could I get?
Did Mina? Is the thing that you wanted to do not going to happen now?
Sorry, that's up to you.
We
Because
could totally do it, but
you're
she's.
in your hut now.
I mean, there's a lot of time between
Okay.
starting camp and setting up
Okay,
the hut,
cool.
so she has put it in Shadar's hands. She's not gonna push.
Yeah, no, he'll walk over and just like kind of raise an eyebrow.
She'll jerk her head to the side and then just start like a perimeter walk.
Mm. He'll walk, but he'll keep like there'll be space between them.
Yeah. Let's see. So it takes probably like 20-30 seconds of walking before Mina just kind of like pinches the bridge of her nose and she's like, well, there's no good way to say this. But you deserve to know. Everyone deserves to know, but I don't want to mention it in front of the Duke. Don't run away or grab your mace or anything like that. Esmeralda spoke to me when we fought her sisters, your sisters, and
Why you?
she said she wanted a replacement for for your sisters, and she thought I guess would make a suitable replacement.
For all 3?
That's what she
Yeah,
said.
you must have some powers we've not yet witnessed. If she thought one woman was a suitable replacement for those 3.
That would be the truth of it.
Why do you think she chose you? And not Damon or Elfric?
Everyone has been quick to point out that my powers aren't necessarily suited for the battlefield, but I do have powers in ways I don't want to use my.
Why don't you explain that? You're rather unclear. I don't quite understand.
You and Tyrion have been gifted powers from gods, and Alfric and Daemon have been gifted powers by their smarts, and mine are different. Perhaps more aligned with the illusions and mind magics that your sisters and Esmeralda seem to have. So that's probably why.
Shadar will spin around his mace out and just crush a rock on the ground, shattering it to dust.
Jesus!
His eyes are ablaze, and he'll say, "Speak plainly, woman! Tire of your riddles and half-truths. You wanted to speak with me. Speak plainly."
Fine. Esmeralda reached out to me to join her. I rejected her, but given the fact that it doesn't seem to be enough to tell you something without telling you everything, I figured I would tell you before you found out some other way and decided that meant I was in cahoots with her.
Tell me everything. What were you trying to get at about your powers? Are you trying to say that you draw your powers from the same place as my sisters? Is that what you're trying to say? It sounded like it.
Fucking hell, I wasn't trying to say I was like your sisters. I was trying to say that maybe she thought I would be like your sisters because I'm not like you.
I see. Tell me, Mina. You're leaning
Put that
close.
fucking mace away.
Oh, he already has. He leans in close. Tell me, Mina. What did she offer you?
Power. What else would she offer me?
No details, just join me and I'll give you power.
Power beyond my wildest imagination. I imagine she offered the same deal to your sisters.
You haven't met her before this.
No.
Inside check. Give myself guidance. 19. Fucking, that's a shit roll.
Do I have to roll persuasion, or?
Well, aren't the deception and the persuasion the same modifier? So could you just roll a d20 so we don't see what you roll?
Jesus Christ. Sure.
Well, I think it's more fun that way.
You win. And she's telling the truth.
Okay.
Tyrion was the same fucking way.
How do you mean, same way? I'm fairly sure Tyrion's views were slightly more extreme than mine. I tire of this whole situation. Your words seem to go round in circles. I need plain speech. Now I've had it.
Yeah, you have.
Is there anything else?
Ask away. What do you want to know? Because when I say something and when I offer information, Tyrion puts his hand on his sword and you fucking bash a rock in my presence. So you go ahead and you ask away so that maybe I can go to sleep feeling safe.
Last time I checked, Mina, you were not a rock. But I have no more questions.
I have no more.
You were the one who wanted to talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else to get off your chest, Mina?
No. No.
Good. Good night. I need to walk back.
Okay. Mina, is there anything else you would like to do?
No. I think that's about it.
Okie dokie. So as everyone makes their way to their appropriate sleeping areas in a somewhat tense, what was a tense evening, even when everyone kind of, yeah, now you're intense, yeah. Even when everyone was like sitting around the place eating, I'm sure Damon and Elfric have had a lot of things on their mind, and obviously Tyrion, Mina and Shadar have, you know, other matters on their mind too, and it was a quiet evening spent amongst all of you. Who did we say was taking first watch? Was it Damon and Shadar? No, Shadar was last watch.
Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion.
I would like. Sorry,
Before
go
we
ahead.
settle
Yeah.
down, so if we're sitting around and I'm gonna make sure I'm next to Alfric and just say to him, what was it you saw about me? You said before that there
Yes. The aura of some kind of enchantment. It was an enchantment spell, was it? Wasn't it,
Yeah,
Mark?
enchantment. Pretty strong.
Some sort of enchantment about your person. I mean, I could try to dispel it from you, but that wouldn't tell me the nature of it, only whether it was there or not.
Is there any way to work out what the nature is of it?
Is that something that could be done with Arcana? Mark, I know Detect Magic only gives the School of Magic.
Yeah. It would be a fairly high DC of 24.
We'll give it a try.
Could I assist him if he's trying to work it out?
Are you proficient?
In Arcana, yes.
Then absolutely roll with advantage.
Okay. So, character sheet was lagging a little bit. Okay, yes, let's investigate.
Ooh! Wow. Wow.
24.
Yes, that is exactly what we needed.
Narrative dice.
And
They're here.
like, you probably wouldn't have been able to figure it out, only Damon kind of guided you in the sense that he explained how he's been feeling and, you know, this, that, and the other, and you are fairly certain his memory has been altered in some fashion.
Yeah, and I relay that to him. It's strange, but from what you're describing, your patterns of thought and the nature of the residues of the magic around you, your memory has been modified.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't remember, I guess.
Naturally.
Was this the first time you've noticed it? I don't know if you've tried this before.
I've not had cause to cast Detect Magic in the presence of the group up until now, so it doesn't give us any indication as to when this occurred.
What is the fix for this? Is this something you can get rid of, or?
I would need, perhaps when we get to Pethlin, I could perhaps do some study if they have a library there. It's not something that I have any knowledge of how to remedy at the moment. Perhaps with some time and the proper resources, we could see if there's a way to restore the memories that have been lost to you, but
It'd be nice to know who was messing with my head.
Indeed, it must be, well, yeah, a distressing thing to learn, I'm sure. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but at least we know now.
Trust me, it could be worse.
Suffice to say, Alfric, with your 24 Arcana, you would deem that this spell is too powerful for just a run-of-the-mill dispel magic to get rid of.
Okay, yeah.
You'd need something a bit more.
Yeah, I assumed as much. Yeah, because that would... His memories are gone already, so you can't... dispel magic doesn't really make sense in this case, does it?
Let me just read the spell real quick. Yeah, his true memories can return, but only if particular steps are taken. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, maybe. Well, when we get to Pethlin, we shall study any information or, well, we may find an answer there.
Well, Damon,
at least we know what to look for.
Damon, you're fairly well travelled. You'd know that the Great Library in Pethlin would surely have information on this type of magic. It has, like, the library in Pethlin is kind of divided up into, like, schools of magic, and it's a huge place. Yeah, there's definitely something there, surely.
Oh, I'm sure I would have accompanied Gelf on there at some point. So.
Yeah.
Well, he himself may be able to help us.
True.
Yes.
With any luck.
Okay, well, let's hope it's not too much bad news, right?
Yes, let's hope as much.
So during my watch, I am going to be keeping an eye out, and Rocket is going to be assisting me, but my mind is also going to be kind of wandering, trying to possibly come up with anything that he might have forgotten. Even though he wouldn't be able to remember, he's still going to be sitting there trying to work out how this happened.
Sure. Yeah. I suppose it's kind of at this point then that Shadar would be kind of... I keep saying Shadar. It's Tyrion that is kind of gearing up to take the watch with Damon then.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, this happened during the watch. I thought it happened, excuse me, while me and Mina were away. Sorry.
No, this kind of happened before watch time.
So this is happening before anyone's taking watches?
Yes.
Okay, Grant, sorry.
So this would probably be happening while
Cool.
You were talking to Mina, I guess.
Okay. Are you guys want to fill us in on what happened when we got back? Shadar might have some sort of spells he can cast, or not. I don't know.
I think
he
would
definitely try and help.
Yeah, if Damon was willing to share the information with the party.
Well, yeah. Once we all got back together, I would say, like, Alfric managed to work out what magic was affecting me. It seemed to be Alfric. What was it again? I've never...
Some form of memory modification. It's not a spell that I know how to cast. But I know that it's something that some magic users are capable of, and it's a form of enchantment.
I never even knew such a thing was possible, but I guess that could be part of the problem, right?
So Tyrion, would you like me to investigate you for the same symptoms?
No, I'm well aware of the enchantment on me currently, Alfred. Thank you for the offer.
That's enough for me.
Affecting your mind, I could attempt the spell I cast to heal the other fellow's mind. They would leave me tapped out at that level of power. Or I could try something a little bit less powerful first, if you wish.
I mean,
fuck, I can't because I haven't got that spell prepared.
this is your domain, Shadar. I leave it into your capable hands.
Right,
May work. May work.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but I mean, given that's my last 5th level fucking slot. Though. Okay, he's gonna try Greater Restoration again. And again he'll pull off the gloves, and he'll be a lot less Christian brother like
whack
his friend Damon.
Is he gonna be like the Tango Man?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
yeah. He'll be more. His bedside manner is significantly improved, given that it's someone that he cares for.
Okay.
And he's gonna try Greater Restoration. If that doesn't work, I thought I had Lesser Restoration. That's what I was gonna try first, but we'll just go.
Fun fact about Modify Memory, there are 2 spells that will regain one's memories, and one of those is Greater Restoration.
Fuck off. I was thinking it might be Wish, but I had to try.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you
Big up
Okay.
the Raven Queen this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, Shadar, you put your hands to his head, and Damon, for a split second, you just get this kind of... Your eyes are just filled with this flash of white light, and your eyes kind of roll up in the back of your head for a minute as you remember
Yeah.
when you were down in the cellar in Dr. Albrecht's place. You remember seeing like all the drums of oil, and it was really unsafe to be down there, and that, you know, the fumes down there was just so pungent and volatile, flammable, that you just felt the need to just, you know, get some wine into you to drown out the sensation of it. That memory dissolves, and what you actually remember is finding the book on necromancy, the journal from Dr. Kevin Albrecht, the tank with the woman in it that had fungus growing on her, that you presumed that it was Penelope. You also remember hearing that whisper in your ear of Dr. Albrecht's voice telling you that you saw drums of oil, you didn't see any of this, basically get out.
Yeah.
That all just comes flooding back to you, and a couple of droplets of blood run down your nose.
Oh shit.
I'm just.
Now, Shitter, you probably know that that's kind of normal.
Okay,
when someone's memories are being
I've
restored.
killed him.
So I come to, and like Shadar sitting in front of me, I just stand up first of all. I'll go up to the nearest tree and just start smashing the crap out of it with my fists. Like, this is a level of anger that you guys probably wouldn't have seen from Damon, even when he was in his form. And yeah, so I'm gonna go and start punching the tree, and then just turn around to him and be like, "That son of a bitch!"
What son of a bitch? Me?
No,
Oh.
that fucking doctor in that town, the one that wanted us to go and get that stuff for him. He
Doctor Who?
fucked with my head. No, not
What?
Doctor Who. That's David
Doctor.
Tennant. That Doctor
Albrecht.
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 Yes.
Yes,
What
nice
about
guy.
him?
He was
Thoroughly
the one that
dislikable
fucked with my
fellow.
head. He's got his wife in that cellar.
What?
Do you remember where we was in his house, and I went downstairs and I came back up and I told you guys that it's too dangerous and stuff.
Yes.
There was nothing down. Well, there was stuff down there, but it wasn't that stuff. He was down there, and he had a book on necromancy, and he had
What?
he had a woman down there in a container. I think he was trying to work out how to bring her back, and I remember now him whispering in my ear, and then the next thing, I guess I was telling you guys, yeah. And he just goes back to start punching the tree for a second because he's just so angry at this point. That I don't know if he's actually going to be able to help us with this thing, but I think he was trying to bring her back.
Alfric, in your awareness of this spell, would the good doctor be aware it no longer holds?
Now, my understanding of how the spell works is fairly rudimentary. I've only had only know some cursory information about it, not the step-by-step information. In all honesty, I do not know.
Although, Damon, this is an absolute appalling travesty. With the removal of this memory blocker, we have an advantage to our hand. When we return to Dr. Albright with the blossoms, he may have no idea that we are onto him. We could see if his intentions have somewhat goodness to them to attack the madness, and then, when we see results, deal with his atrocities.
My friend, let me speak plainly on this one. If that man practices the arts that raise the dead, there is no chance in hell of me aligning with him for any cause. The line there is drawn for me. You of all people should know that.
Oh, I'm very aware of the fact that this man will be judged for his sins and his injustices. But we have a second dukedom afflicted with this madness. The continent will not be long before it falls. If he has a true cure, we will take it and then deal with him. Or else your queen's queue will grow very quickly.
You're saying you wish me to pretend that I'm still affected?
Yes. Now, of course, this is just an idea. If you want me to go straight in and remove his head from its home on his shoulders, I have no qualms. But I'm just trying to think of the bigger picture and all those innocent lives that could be lost.
Whatever the case, I think when we see this man again, we ought to tread very carefully. It's clear, with his dabbling in necromancy, his distorting of Damon's mind, these things indicate he's gone down a very dark path indeed. Such things are distasteful, to say the least.
The least.
Well, we'll see how things go, but if you do not remove his head, I will.
Done.
Very well then. It seems we have a plan in place in regards to the good doctor. If there is nothing else, I believe we could probably take the long rest at this point, unless anyone else is.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been a day.
The last 4 sessions, damn, let's do it.
And I've no scry slots left to even scry on Dr. Albrecht.
Fancy that.
Yeah.
So, who was taking the first watch? Tyrion and Damon?
Yeah.
Could I ask one of you guys to make a d20 roll, please?
Go for it, Rhino.
All right, yeah, your watch goes by with nothing at all. It's dead quiet, too quiet, because the lack of foot traffic now is so dwindled. It's a quiet watch.
I believe Alfric wanted to go next.
And
Yeah.
Shadar, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, it's only 2 watches. Okay, cool.
2 watches, yeah. 2 watches. Because the guards are kind of taking up some of the slack there as well.
Before I wake Alfric and Shadar, like I said, Rocket's always awake. He doesn't sleep. I'm just going to kind of whisper, not enough that Satyrion wouldn't hear, but so that nobody asleep would hear. I'm just going to whisper to Rocket, should Alfric try and leave, please wake me up. And that's
Very well, very well. That is noted. Next up then we have Alfric and Shadar, and I would invite you guys to also roll a d20, please.
Well, go ahead, my friend.
A 17. Alfric,
He said that.
could you roll a d100, please?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is for the amount of dragons again.
A 7.
70.
He went 7.
7, yeah.
Okay.
You don't like the sound of this.
No,
No, D6 and a D12.
halfway during your watch, you get very, very hungry, and tomorrow's rations are looking quite delicious. So,
You're right, my friend. You seem a little bit irritated.
Just a little the trials and tribulations of the day. I didn't. My mind was on other things. I didn't eat very much at dinner. My stomach is rumbling and it's got me a little agitated.
Right, let tell you what. Do I have great food more? I bet you I didn't fucking prepare it. What spell is that? Create or destroy water?
Third. His third level. Yeah, create food and water.
No.
I mean, Tyrion's gone to sleep. I wonder if you could rummage through his pockets.
Definitely
wakes
not
up
got
to,
the
like-
sleight of hand for that.
You would lose your
maybe-
fucking head for
Maybe
that.
mage hand.
You gotta use mage hand.
Yeah,
That way.
just a little.
He wakes up at the crunch of the bacon. He's like, "Who dares?"
He'd wake up at the smell of it going past his body.
Yeah. But Shadaro, you, how are you, my friend? Are you all right after these revelations?
It did come as a shock.
Yes.
But I'm more this individual that poor fellow saw the guard. It's no one I've ever seen before. I don't know why they would be after me. And it perplexes and, well, downright infuriates me not knowing such a mystery.
Yes. I wonder. I mean, I suppose with what you've learnt and with what Damon has learned of this creature, its description, what it looks like, its physical features, all that kind of thing. Perhaps I could try my scry spell tomorrow night. See if we might glean its location or, learn something of it.
You have been very generous with your magics lately, Shadar. I would not ask it of you, but if you offer, then
Well,
perhaps it would be useful.
call it a professional curiosity. After all, the more we learn of it, the safer we become.
On that we agree. The more we can learn about our foes, the better off. Better off we'll be when we finally come to confront them.
Yes. I'm not sure if Mina told you, but she said to me Esmeralda offered her a deal in the Temple of the Raven Queen to join
Deal?
her. Offered her power to join her.
Well, I have no doubt that she declined.
Seems that way, all right. Just
Curious, though, that Esmeralda would do such a thing.
Yes, why her? That's what I'm trying to figure out. She has a connection to Blackbone Barrow, which is the place within which Esmeralda resides.
I'm sure she has a share of secrets, but
Indeed.
she's not raised any hand or magic against any of us.
No, she's not, and I'm not
sure.
trying to turn anyone against her, but
Of course.
I do feel hurt that I feel as if I thought I knew the Mina we went drinking with, and the Mina who I confided certain things in, and it seems that that's not the person. I feel like a bit of a fool, Ilfric, that's all.
I don't think there's anything to feel foolish about, Shadar. To tell you the truth, it's all new to me, really. I've had acquaintances in my life, colleagues, but not really anyone that I would have had the confidence to call friends until now. So I think we must trust that Mina had her reasons for not sharing these things until now, and take heart in the fact that she has shared them in her own good time.
Yes. Therein lies the problem, though, for me, as I would be the same as yourself. Worked hard to stay alone, have worked hard to keep colleagues in the colleagues area of my life, not to let anyone in, and it seems the first time I did. They're not the person they presented themselves as. I believe I've let my guard down, as it were. I think I should be more careful in the future. But as it stands, we have a lot to do.
We do. A great deal on our plate already.
Would you like some breakfast wine?
Could use. I don't partake in
No, I see.
in the beverage.
No,
It's a kind offer, but
do you mind if I
no, please, if you
take a sip? Yeah, he'll just get up and just go for a kind of a wander. Again, this time in the morning is his favorite.
Okay.
He'll just kind of find a spot where he can watch the sunrise.
Okay, and as we're approaching the breaking of dawn, Shadar, you kind of move to another kind of not too far away
Probably
part of the camp.
He's around. No, she's there, so he'll probably go to bed here.
Given the nature of last night, no one is going to get the bonus of the inspiring leader feat.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. He wouldn't have
seems
taken
fair.
it. But the last thing that Shadar will do when he's by himself is he'll take off the necklace that Mina gave to him, and he'll just he'll put it in his backpack.
Okay. As you are kind of taking that little bit of time to yourself, Shadar, in that spot, and Alfred, you're kind of still taking watch where you had your conversation with Shadar a little while ago. Again, you know, the night went by pretty quietly, and you know, the remnants of the giant pyre from the cart that Damon and Tyrion was so kind to light is kind of gotten to the part where it's just pretty much the embers now, but you're still feeling that nice bit of heat from it, even though the night itself was warm by nature anyway. Alfred, you're kind of looking out on the road down the long path that will no doubt lead to Kingdom's Cross tomorrow. And as you look out on the path, you feel a very heavy hand rest on your shoulder.
Oof.
And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Oh
shit.
Are we already done? That was too fast.
We are already done, indeed, for this session. But we will be back.
How did they get in the bubble? How did they get in the bubble?
The bubble? What bubble?
Well, I was on watch.
This wasn't in the tiny hut, right?
As this
I figured we
sun's
were still in
starting
the
to
tiny
rise.
hut. Apart from Shadar, who walked away.
No.
Oh, I was assuming the people on watch were kind of going to the outskirts.
That's what I assumed also.
Getting to a better vantage point or whatever.
Realistically, I probably was with the Duke's men, so you guys are free to have the bubble, not have the bubble.
We definitely had it, but if they were outside keeping watch, then that's fair.
Yeah.
Would it have would it have been Shadar and Damon, or sorry, Shadar, Elfric, and both the guards in the bubble, or would it have been other people?
Well, Shadar
given that there's 9,
but I know Shadar would have left at that point. Yeah.
It's just me and the Duke's men and one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have had me
Yeah, I
and the
guess
rest
we-
of the guys in my
We would have
one.
kind of had our bubble
Yeah.
around here or wherever.
So you were in the bubble.
Until
no.
Alfred had to take watch.
Well,
Because
and
once
okay,
you leave the
all
bubble,
right.
it disappears.
Just so I'm
Yeah.
clear on that. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, you
Yes.
feel that heavy hand rest on your shoulder, Alfred, and you turn around quickly. But that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. On that little note.
Ooh, sugar.
Thanks a million, Mark.
Yep. So
Thanks,
we will
Mark.
be back once again in 2 weeks' time. So
Thanks for watching,
stick around.
everyone.
Thanks for watching and thanks
Yeah,
for playing.
Thanks, everybody.
And yeah, we'll.
Once again with the Renegade DM.
But yeah, there'll be plenty more action, plenty more quests, plenty
Tension,
more revelations,
apparently.
tension, everything.
Who wants to yell at me next time?
I haven't had my turn yet.
Okay, fine. You can go next time.
So yeah, thanks everyone, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you, guys.
Until next time.
See you then.